Hello people, what's up? Hope you guys are doing great. This is your friend Ashish and today we are looking at the difference between which and that, how these pronouns are different, how to use them. We'll learn everything. Let's do it. Both which and that are relative pronouns that come in the beginning of a relative clause which gives information which modifies the noun that just comes before it. That is used for both people and things, but which is only used for things. Let me give you some examples and make you understand. People that meditate daily are always peaceful. So that meditate daily is my relative clause. That is my relative pronoun coming in the beginning of the clause that meditate daily. And this clause is giving information about people, giving information about the noun people, helping us to identify it. So here that is relating to a person, people. Let's look at the next example. The guy that saved my life last year lives here. That saved my life last year is my relative clause. That is my relative pronoun coming in the beginning of the clause. And this entire clause, that saved my life last year, is giving information about the noun. The guy, which guy? The guy that saved my life last year. So here as well, that is relating to a person, the guy. Let's take one more example where that is relating to a thing. I loved the book that you gave me yesterday. I loved the book that you gave me yesterday. Oh, I did. That you gave me yesterday is my relative clause here. That is my relative pronoun coming in the beginning of the clause. So this entire clause is giving information about what? About what? The book. Which book that you gave me yesterday? So that is relating to a thing here, which is the book. Let me give you one more example. The school that he goes to is famous for sports. What is my relative clause here? My relative clause is that he goes to. That is my relative pronoun coming in the beginning of the clause, and this entire clause is giving information about the subject, about the noun, the school. Which school that he goes to? The school that he goes to is famous for its sports. So that is relating to a thing here, which is the school. Alright, we got this. Now let us take some examples of which. I already told you that which is used to relate to a thing, not a person. Let's take some examples. My phone, which was quite new, got stolen last year. Not a great news to hear, but this is what happened. Okay, so what is my relative clause here? Which was quite new. Which was quite new is my relative clause. Which is my relative pronoun here coming in the beginning of the clause, and this is giving information about the noun, my phone. But this information is non-essential. It's not vital. It's not helping us to identify the subject. It is giving us non-essential information. Alright, that is why we are separating it with commas. My phone, which was quite new, got stolen last year, which is relating to a thing, my phone. Next example. The Taj Mahal, which is very beautiful, is in Agra. The Taj Mahal, which is very beautiful, is in Agra. Which is very beautiful is my relative clause here, which is my relative pronoun coming in the beginning of the clause, giving information about the noun, the Taj Mahal, which is very beautiful. We already know what Taj Mahal is. We don't need any piece of information to identify it. So this clause is obviously giving some information about the noun, the Taj Mahal, but it is not helping us to identify it. It's a non-essential piece of information. So that's how we use which. Now let us look at the other difference. You guys might have already observed that we are not offsetting the defining or restrictive clause using commas. A restrictive relative clause is used to give defining or essential information about the noun it modifies. And you cannot use the relative pronoun that to give non-defining or non-essential information about the noun it relates to. It is only used to give defining or essential information about the noun. And if you remove the restrictive clause from the sentence will not give the same meaning after that. Let me give you some examples. People that do not give up never lose the game. There are billions and billions of people in the world, but we're not talking about all the people. The defining clause that do not give up, the restrictive clause that do not give up, is making the meaning of the word people limited. We're talking about people that do not give up. Out of billions and billions of people that do not give up never lose the game. And if you try to take out this clause out of the sentence will stop giving the same meaning. Let's try doing it. People never lose the game. Here I'm talking about people in general. All the people in the world never lose the game. Did I mean the same thing in the first example? I didn't, right? So you cannot take the restrictive clause out of the sentence, and if you do, your sentence will not give the same meaning. Let's look at the next example. Movies that are based on real incidents are doing great. Again, movie is a common noun, right? We do not know which movie we're talking about. There are thousands and millions of movies in the world. Which movie are we talking about? So all the movies in the world will fall in this category of movies. So we're using a defining clause, we're using a restrictive clause to specify the noun that we're talking about. Which movies? Movies that are based on real incidents are doing great. And if you try to take it out, your sentence will stop giving the same meaning. Movies are doing great. I'm talking about all the movies. No, this is not what I meant in the first place. I meant movies that are based on real incidents are doing great. So you cannot take a defining or restrictive clause out of your sentence, and if you do, your sentence will stop giving the same meaning. But non-restrictive clauses can be taken out of the sentence because they give non-defining information about the noun that they modify, and that is the reason we offset them using commas. Let me give you some examples. The Taj Mahal, which is very beautiful, is in Agra. Which is very beautiful is my non-defining clause giving information about the Taj Mahal. But we already know what Taj Mahal is. So even if you take this clause out of the sentence, the meaning of the sentence doesn't really change. The Taj Mahal is in Agra. We already know what Taj Mahal is. Let's take one more example. Indian movies, which are quite popular around the world, are performing great nowadays. Indian movies is a particular name, is a specified name, is a proper name, right? We already know what Indian movies are, right? So which are quite popular around the world is my non-defining, non-restrictive clause giving some information about the noun Indian movies, but it really doesn't help us to identify the noun Indian movies, right? So even if we try to take it out of the sentence, we can absolutely do that. Indian movies are performing great nowadays. So this is the difference between that and which. That is used in a defining clause and a restrictive clause to give essential piece of information about the noun it modifies, and which is used in a non-defining, non-restrictive clause giving some non-important piece of information about the noun it modifies. So that is about today's lesson, guys. I hope you really enjoyed watching this lesson. I hope you learned so many things today, and if you did, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. Share this video with your friends so that they can also learn something new today. And yeah, I'll see you very soon. Till then, I'm out.